talk to them boys that sit on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sit on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
Now it's time to go to work. Give me a second. What is going on, Florida State family? Seminole Nation in the 863 tribe. Is your boy POLK, a.k.a. A-Lo, a.k.a. the Got Damn Truth. It's Wednesday. And what do we do on Wednesdays? We get up on this hangover and we talk that talk. So as always, before we start, hit that like button, share the video, let them know we live. I see y'all talking that slick talk in the chat. Look, I'm on time. When that music start, that's when we start. That little, we could do a little 10-minute buffer to get people in here, get the videos shared, get everybody up in here. So I don't just get in here, start talking, and people say what I miss. So y'all already know that. So I'm on time. Y'all gonna stop coming for me. I am on time. I hope everybody's having a good Wednesday, man. We's getting so close to football season. And I wanted to I'm going to say it. Because I'm not a player and I'm not a coach. But I'm looking past Duquesne, okay? I'm looking past them. I don't care. I'm looking past them. And I want to talk about LSU. And I want to talk how important does this game mean to Mike? But more importantly, this program. So that's what I want to address. And then the second thing we're going to talk about is I'm going to finally give my season prediction. Only because next week could be so hectic for me that I don't know if I'm going to have time to do anything, any videos next week. I mean, I'll definitely be doing the Saturday night live instant reaction, right? We're definitely going to do that after the Duquesne game. But leading up to that, I don't know if I'm going to have much time next week. So I'm going to give my season prediction tonight. I thought about it. And I thought about it and I'm thinking I won't break any, I won't spoil anything. But yeah, so we're going to do that tonight. We're going to talk about LSU, what this game means, how important is this game for not just Mike Norvell, but the program as a whole. And I'm going to give my prediction. And one more announcement before we get started. This time is running out. If you want to be eligible for the free giveaway that we will be doing Saturday after the Duquesne game. So you have up until the beginning of that instant reaction to join the H63 tribe, become a member, and get your hat or get your name in the hat for a free gift of my choice. I still haven't decided what, but like I've always said, I don't do pins and bottle openers or keychains or anything cheap like that. They usually be nice gifts. So it's up to you. You want to join the 863 tribe, become eligible. After that, sorry, if you join during the season, unfortunately, you won't be eligible for any other season giveaways. So join before the season starts. Now, with all that said, let's hit a roll call and let's get into what we came here to talk about. Champ 99 in the building, no blooded Matthew. Is it Rosen or Rossen? Rawson sounds better. Matthew Rawson. Peter Shields, member of the 863 Tribe. Island Boy, Florida State Love, member of the 863 Tribe. Tyler Hedden, member of the 863 Tribe. EMG, FSU, Rose. Rose, what happened? You used to be a member of the tribe. I'm disappointed. But that's okay. D. Thompson in the building. Timmy in the building. FSU Tony, member of the 863 Tribe. Davius Freeman. Ronald Smith. Hypnotic. Jose. Brandon. Kusami. And that's all we got. That's all we got. Hit the like button. Let me check something real quick. Because I'm skipping a little bit. Hold on. Let me see something. Make sure the signal stays good. Give me 1 second. Okay. Good to go. And Marcus Lewis in the building. Black Sheer Knoll. 226 Tim in the building. All right, man. LSU. First of all, before we get into LSU, let's address some things that have transpired since the last time we've talked on a Wednesday. So let's get into that. You have FSU got a recent commitment from 3-star safety, 3-star safety, Kirkland out of Jacksonville. That's a good pickup. Y'all know me. I don't say this about everybody, but that's one that probably should be a 4-star. He is a 4-star on 247, but he's not a 4-star on 3. And I actually don't think he's a 4-star on Rivals either when I went and checked. So the 247 composite has him as one of the higher end 3-stars. I think Kirkland's a good get, though. So it's good that we landed that. And don't look now, but all of a sudden, FSU sitting at number 20 overall recruiting class with some big targets still on the map. That's going to lead into this conversation we about to have. But that's good, man. Arnie in the building, RD in the building, Jay Adams in the building. But that's what we're in a good position. I'll say that. We're in a good position on the recruiting trail. Everything, all things considered, top 20 in August, leading into September. You still got your Jordan Halls, your DJ Chesters out there, your Hakeem Williams out there. Blake Nicholson still hasn't committed yet. Games still have to be played. There most likely will be decommit. You're in a good spot. So there's that. And the other thing I want to hit on, well, 2 more things I want to hit on. First, Joshua Burrell as a running back. I find that interesting. I find that extremely that is, I don't mind it. You know, they've mentioned a lot of names in that receiver room. I almost feel like they've praised everybody this offseason in the receiver room. And so CJ Campbell, he goes down for the year. Now, he was a walk-on running back, but from everything that we were hearing about CJ, I think he was a walk-on, but he was actually on an academic scholarship. But anyway, from everything we heard about CJ, CJ was actually really good. But he goes down. He's out for the year. Then you bring in a guy that's 6'2". I mean, he's probably the same size as Trey Benson. Versatile, can catch. I like the move for Burrell. I hope they keep him there. Don't switch him. Don't flip-flop him. Don't move him all over the place. Obviously, Burrell will be a little bit more versatile. So, maybe you can line him out in the slot or something when you need to. I understand that. I just don't want them to kind of use him the way we've seen them use Ja'Kai Douglas in the past. And maybe he could potentially be what they always wanted Ja'Kai Douglas to be. At the end of the day, man, I like the move for Burrell. He squats like some insane number, like 500 pound, and he was a wide receiver. So I like the move for Burrell. It's an interesting move. I would tell Florida State fans, don't expect much from Burrell tonight. This year, as he kind of learns to actually be a running back. Obviously, you can use them in different ways, but as he kind of learns to run, read his gaps, and just learn how to be a running back, I would say don't expect him to come in and be that thing right away. But it's just an interesting move, and how fast can he take onto the position, is interesting because you got a Trey Benson, and Burrell's probably a little bigger than Trey, and you kind of have that now. You got two backs on the roster with kind of the same skill set potentially. Again, like the move. I thought that was some news worth talking about. And then the last thing I want to touch on before we get into the LSU topic is we talked about center last week, and we talked about was Sly Gibbons, is Estes the guy? We even talked about it some on Saturday, getting your best five out there. I think Darius Washington will be your starting center this year. I'm almost, I don't want to say convinced, but I'm pretty confident. From listening to Darius, from seeing him, I would say Darius, Raymond James in the building. Marcus, I don't know if I said what's up to you, Marcus. Marcus Lewis in the building, Mayan King. I don't think I missed anybody else, did I? Arnie was good. I think I hit just about everybody. Dang Bay. But anyway, I think Darius Washington is going to be the guy. Just to address the center position. I know that's still a position of concern for some of us, and what are they going to do there? I still do not believe Estes is going to be one of your top 5 guys. But if you tell me it's going to be Darius, and if they're worried about Gibbons moving over, Seminole Express, what's going on, Ronald Smith, and you know what? I don't think Gibbons is even out of the mix. Because if you told me Darius has played right tackle, left tackle, if you told me Darius could go to left guard, I wouldn't be mad at that either. But Todd Pope, what's going on? But I think Washington ends up being the center. So that's your kind of news for the week, your little talking points for the week. But what are Davius? What's going on? But what I want to address is this LSU game. Again, I am looking past Duquesne. I don't get paid to pay attention to. I don't get paid, period. But I don't get paid. I'm not Mike. I'm not a coach. I'm not a coach on the staff. I'm not a player. I don't have to look at Duquesne. I'm telling you right now, you struggle with Duquesne, we got a lot more. Forget LSU. You struggle with Duquesne, you might as well forget LSU. You probably should forget the season. I do not expect to struggle with Duquesne. And neither should any of you. Whether you like Mike or not. Whether you secretly root for him to fail or not. Which we know y'all are out there. It's okay. Well, it's not okay, but do you anyway. The facts are, you shouldn't struggle with Duquesne. I'm not going to waste my time previewing a Duquesne game, talking about Duquesne and what they do well. No one cares. Go out there, throw 60 on Duquesne, and call it a day. Now, with that being said, LSU is the game that has everybody's attention and should have everybody's attention. And I don't really want to get into a preview of the game. I don't want to talk about do we win it? I don't want to talk about our strengths, our weaknesses. Tara, member of the 863 tribe, how you doing? I don't want to talk about none of that. It's not about previewing the game, okay? We're going to have a whole week for that. You're going to have a whole game week where we can preview that game and break that game down and position by position and where we better than them at. Where are they better than us at? How does that game shake out? We're going to do that. How important is this game for this program? I think there's a two-part answer to this. But overall, I think one trumps the other. So as they say, there's a macro and a micro. Meaning it's obviously in the micro perspective, it's important in the short term. Obviously. You got some key guys committing in the month of September. You might want to win that game. The macro or the larger picture. What if LSU's the only game you lose? What if LSU's the only game you lose? Then was it really that big a deal? I understand both talking points because I know that's the rebuttal, right? So I already know in the chat, somebody's going to ask this question. This question is going to be asked because I'm going to say this game is massive, right? And I see people saying, bro, this game is huge. We have to win, period. And I don't disagree with y'all. But the rebuttal to that is going to be, well, what if you lose this game but win the rest? Or they're going to say, would you rather lose to LSU but win the rest of your games or win the majority of the rest of your games? Or would you rather beat LSU but lose to Florida and Miami and Clemson? Bro, I don't even care about none of that. And if we're being honest, LSU is probably the second most talented team we're going to play. Clemson being the first. And if we're just going off of recruiting, right? Just the recruiting rankings and the blue chip ratio and all of that. If you beat a Brian Kelly coached LSU team, Brian Kelly that's never had this type of talent at Notre Dame. If you beat a Brian Kelly coached Notre Dame team, LSU team, I don't even see how you can fix your mouth to say you're going to lose to all these other teams. And that's part of the reason why I think this game is as huge as it is. I understand the aspect if you could lose this game and still go on to have an extremely good season. But here's the key. This is the national televised game. You're the only game on the night. When's the last time Florida State won a game like that? Ole Miss? It's the last time Florida State won a game like that? Ole Miss? If we want, the program needs this game. This has taken too many hits recently, man. It just has, whether we want to admit it or not. Travis Hunter was a blow to this. Amarius Mims, it's not as big as Travis Hunter, but man, come on. You got to close that deal. Okay? We can't even get in the guys in our own backyards. Now, granted, I already started the show off by saying we're in a good spot in recruiting. But I want you to look at the players in the area of Tallahassee and how many of them are not even considering Florida State. It is time to put some respect back on this program. This game is massive for a ton of reasons. And a lot of it has more to do with your national perception and getting these kids to start believing in your brand again. I know we're in the NIL era, and everybody think that's the only reason why half of these teams are recruiting. Oh, everybody's paying everybody, man. Everybody always paid everybody. You're going to see this stuff go back to just the way it used to be. Everybody's always paid. If you haven't even been noticing, man, and I'm not gonna talk too much about a Miami guy, but Ruiz was just recently quoted as saying next year he probably won't even give out as much NIL deals because his return investment isn't that much, which I don't know. If you go back and watch me 5-6 months ago, that is exactly the thing I was saying. These guys, these millionaires or billionaires aren't going to keep paying this money because there's no return investment on giving a high school quarterback $5 million to come to your team. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But the point is, your logo is still gonna matter when this thing evens itself out. It's time to win a game. I am sick of every year. Last year was a Michigan State and Utah, hell, Arkansas. Like I'm teams that come out of nowhere with no expectation or expect it to be terrible and come out of nowhere. Why can't it be Florida State's time? It's all going to start with LSU. You catch them at the perfect time. I believe they got a freshman at tackle. They're going to be running a freshman on the offensive line. I actually think majority of that offensive line is going to be new. I believe I heard the majority of that secondary is going to be new. We know their defensive line is good, but okay. It's got some good players. How well do they play as a unit? Well, last year LSU didn't play that well. With all of that said, D. Thompson said another team in Baylor. And you can kind of go down. When is it time that we a punch above our weight class? When is it time for us to break in and be that team? Somebody said it's true freshman tackle and center. So Fabo and Lovett should have a way up the middle. Should have their way, but we'll see. Obviously, this game is important for Mike. Now, I spent the first half of this kind of just talking about the program because the program, ultimately, nothing's bigger than the program. So obviously, the program needs this win more than anything because the national perception of Florida State is, let's face it, kind of a joke. I'm here in Kentucky right now, right? Going to a school. And I'm sitting, and one of the guys comes up to me. He's a Georgia fan. And I drove up here. So he sees got Florida State all over my truck, right? So he comes up to me. He goes, "Man, what happened to your nose? What happened to the Seminoles?" And what can I say? You know what I said? I just looked at him and said, "Man, we getting it together. Don't worry about it. We gonna eventually get it together." But I don't know how many of y'all have had that same thing come up and happen to y'all. Man, what happened to Florida State? What's going on? Even a casual football fan knows it. Even a casual football fan knows it. Let me get to Tara's super chat, $10 super chat. Appreciate you, Tara. She says, if we get the win against LSU, I believe the morale and momentum that will be given to this team will carry on through the season. And yes, recruiting will catch fire. Shout out to Tara. And in case y'all haven't seen the new video, I'm going to show it. Because Tara, you deserve it. Anyway, as we continue, I got to address this because Timmy likes to do this. And I knew there would be a Mike Norvell apologist and they would want to talk about the stability of the program. And this is year 3. So your stability argument, it doesn't hold weight anymore. It held weight in year 1, held a little bit of weight in year 2, little bit, not as much. All that stability crap, bruh, you can stop all of that. Stop it all. That's done. That's over with. If this ain't a stable program in year 3, then what are we talking about? What are we doing? What are we doing? How long are we going to use the exact same excuse? Oh, Michigan State was so stable when Mel Tucker took over. Man, how stable was that program when that man lost 20 to 30 players in the portal and brought in his own 20 to 30 players out the portal, built an entire team out of the portal, but you want to use the stability argument. I knew there would be one. There's always going to be one. And there's going to continue to be people that continuously make that excuse. In year 3, that excuse is done. That excuse is out of the window. You can stop with that. If you're still using the stability argument, or he took over from Willie, Willie's done. Willie's 3 years ago. It's over. It's done with. Stop using Taggart as a crutch. Stop using stability as a crutch. This is all Mike Norvell's team right now. And I didn't even make this video to get on Mike. I just was talking about how important this program is. Got another super chat in the building. Hurricane Speed says, anything is possible. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. One more again for the folks in the back. Well, hello to you, Miss Lopez. What's up, Irv? Remember the 863 tribe. What up, Irv and Irv? Irv Wallace and Irv Gotti. What's going on with y'all? But anyway, back to the point. We've talked about the program, and we know the program needs this game more than anything. And obviously, Mike needs this. I've been on the record of saying Mike's a dead coach. It's hard to convince me otherwise. It's hard to convince me otherwise. I mean, like, come on, man. You've taken too many national L's to well, all that can potentially be erased. You beat LSU on primetime TV. So again, I'm not even trying to make it about Mike. I'm just trying to point out how important this game. Mike needs this game more than anything. Up until this point, what's been in Mike Norvell's tenure? What is his biggest win? What is his biggest win up until this point? Is it last year's Miami game? Or is it the year before that's North Carolina game? Those are literally the two biggest wins of Mike's career. Beating an overrated North Carolina team, if we want to be honest, in a COVID year. In a normal year, they're probably not top 5 team in the nation. We know that. Or beating a terrible Miami team like we knew they were. A terrible Florida State team beat a terrible Miami team. Big whoop. Big whoop. Big whoop. I'm going to keep entertaining you, Timmy, because at least you provide some feedback. Stoops arrived at Kentucky in 2013. He went 2-10. Bro, that is Kentucky. I can't even... I'm gonna grab a water, guys. I'll be right back. Oh man, this man said Kentucky. Let's see. Okay, man. Look, man, that's Kentucky, bro. Stop it. What expectations has a Kentucky team ever had? Come on, man. Gots to be better. Give me something more. Come on. Compare apples to apples, bro. Not apples to mangoes. Marcus says, I don't think that's an excuse because we lost to Jacksonville State. I know we have more talent than them, so the narrative about Norvell not having talent. Who says we're not talented? See, this is where this conversation is going to really pick up. Seriously, this is where the conversation is going to really pick up because I need y'all to start standing on what y'all say. I'm gonna need the fan base to start standing on what y'all say. If y'all are telling me, last show we talked about predictions and everybody was like, man, Jordan Travis might be a 3,000 yard passer and Benson might run for 1,000 yards and this might be a top 20 defense and you might have the best safety tandem in the league and hell, Timmy was out there going hard on Jerry Jones, saying, man, Jerry Jones gonna get it together. He playing the nickel back now. I'm not giving up on Jerry. He gonna be that dude. All cool. Well, then stand on what you believe in and stop making excuses, because what y'all are doing is you hedge your bets. You either believe this team has talent and that they should be able to do something with it, or you don't. Period. Stop telling me or talking about all the talent in the room, but then when it's time to say, well, what should you beat LSU? Should you have a 10-win season or go 9-3 or 8-4? Then you say, well, then you backtrack and go, man, yeah, we talented, but I don't know. We still got to work some things out, man. 7-6 would really be a 7-5 would really be a good season for us. Man, stop. Stop that. Stop doing that. You either going to stand on it, have some pride, and say, nope, we are this or we're that. Now, I don't believe we got a 3,000 yard passer. Benson getting 1,000 yards is possible. I would love to see a top 20 defense. And Jerry Jones, I hope I never see him on the field. The point is, I don't even believe half of the stuff y'all said last week, and I still believe we better than a 8-win team. Or at least have the talent on the team to be an 8-win team, had the potential to be an 8 to 9-win team. But a lot of y'all are hedging y'all bets. A lot of y'all don't want to stand on it. Time to put your foot down. It's time to put your foot down. At the end of the day, man, LSU is an important game, and it's going to be the most important game Mike has ever coached. Period. It's going to be the most important game up until this point that he's ever coached. And this isn't year 0. This isn't year 1. This is year 3. And all those problem children are gone. Problem children. Some legitimately were, others whatever, but they're gone. So all the instability is out the door. All the, we ain't got this, is out the door. Don't blame the quarterback, because Mike has decided to go the route that he's decided to go with the quarterback. So you can't blame the quarterback. That's Mike's choice to go with, whether it's Jordan Travis, whoever you think it should be. In 2 of Mike's 3 years, he decided not to bring in a transfer quarterback. The one transfer he brings in is, a guy that I had high hopes for, and I think a lot of us had high hopes for, but just never was anything what he used to be. Right? There's no excuses this year. So if you believe in 8-4, awesome. I can rock with 8-4. I can't rock with anything less than 8-4. Anything less. I'm not ready to make my prediction yet, because I am going to make it. 8-4 is, again, you go 8-4, I can respect it. But I'm telling you, if anybody talking this 7-win crap, or this 6, if you're talking 6 wins, I don't know how you can defend your coach if you're talking 6 wins. Now, if you're talking 6 wins because you don't like Mike and you want him to be fired, I get it. Whether I agree with you or not is irrelevant, but I get it. At the end of the day, for me, it's not about Mike Norvell. It's about the program winning football games. Of course, I want Mike Norvell to succeed because guess what? That means Florida State succeeds. But in year 3, man, the expectation should be. I said this before. In year 3, the expectation should be competing for the ACC. We shouldn't just be talking about going 8-4 and having a Cheez-It Bowl appearance, because that's where you're gonna end up. You're gonna go 8-4 and end up in the Cheez-It Bowl, or the Sun Bowl, or the Campfire Bowl, or no, what is that? The Camping World Bowl, or whatever that crap is called in Orlando. That's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do the. Oh, hold on. Well, I didn't try to click on this one, but Guns, I know why you going 5-7. So, and again, no, don't agree with that at all. But I know why you want Mike to go 5-7. Get it, got it. I'll try to click on this one. No, man, I'm not doing the 12-hour show again. Heck no. I probably won't do I probably won't do. Well, I probably won't do a show next week. It depends on my time though. The Champs Bowl. That's my point, man. That's where you're gonna end up at 8-4, and that's fine. I'm okay. I can live with an 8-4 season, to be completely honest with you. It's not going to get you over the hump in the recruiting, but I do think you go 8-4, you can start 2024 off with some good vibes on recruiting trail. I mean, 8-4, kids will look at 8-4, especially if that 8-4 you're able to get a couple upsets. Yeah, 8-4 is not the worst thing. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like 8-4 and he deserves to be fired. But if y'all remember, I was saying 8-4 6 months ago, when everybody else was telling me 6 or 7 wins. Now everybody's came along to 8-4. That's kind of been the thing going on in the fan base. They're starting to believe in this 8-4 crap. And now I'm saying, well, you know what? I'm gonna up the ante then. I'm gonna up the ante. Not because I have anything against anybody. I'm upping the ante because it's time. If you can go 8-4, if we all of a sudden are that confident in 8-4, well, do something you're finally not supposed to do. Again, punch above your weight class. Pull some upsets and do something. I hate to keep saying that term because he's gone. But that slogan is at probably in no other time more relevant than it is in year 3. Do something. Do something. And it starts with LSU. Do something. I remember people telling me that 9 wins was insane. Oh, you crazy if you think this team can get 9 wins. I don't know if I'm crazy or not. But again, what is the fan base saying? What is your media saying? Top 20 defense, best safety tandem in the league, 1,000-yard rusher. Now some of the fans are saying 3,000-yard passer. Nobody in the media is really saying that, but they are saying that this guy's light years ahead of where he was. They are pushing the narrative that he is light years ahead of where he was last year. So maybe they are trying to throw subliminal 3,000-yard season out there without actually putting a number on it. But they saying Jordan Travis making throws in practice that they ain't never seen before. And this is going to be the same media that is, when it's time to make predictions, the same media that told you top 20 defense, top safeties in the league, top defensive line, one of the top 3 D lines in the league. Jordan Travis is the next Justin Herbert. Trey Benson is the next Cam Akers. Those are the same clickbait articles they post. They're going to be the same ones that when it's time to make the prediction, oh man, 6 6 or 7 wins this year would really be an improvement for Mike Norvell and Florida State. They can really do something. A 7-win season for Florida State would really be. That would be a good look. They're good. That's what it's gonna be. That's what they're gonna say. So you believe what you want. For me, it's not so much about what they say. I just have my expectations. I just have my expectations, right? And so my expectations are simple. In year 3, you've put your footprint at every position. In year 3, you've brought in your type of players. And to be honest, I do like the roster as a whole. But me, man, in year 3, I don't see how you're not trying to compete for the ACC championship. At least get there. I'm not even saying you got to win it. Ultimately, you don't even have to get there. But can you be in the running down the stretch? Wake Forest potentially has lost. I mean, their quarterback's out indefinitely. Now, that's tough. You don't want to hear that. There's things that are bigger than football, but if we're just keeping it on the football field, all of a sudden, that's an easier game. NC State's getting a lot of hype. I gotta believe it to see it, folks. Sorry. Gotta believe that to see it. A team that's supposed to be as good as people are claiming barely beat a team with no quarterback last year. Talking about us. So where's the roadblock? Is it LSU? Well, LSU jumpstarts everything. That's why that game's so important. LSU jumpstarts everything. I'll say it right here, right now, because one thing about me is I don't really care about being wrong. I'll go out on a limb. I don't care about being wrong. Hell, I was wrong last year. Last year I said this was a 6 or 7-win team. In hindsight, I was probably right if you would have actually beat Jacksonville State. I probably would have been nail on the head. Where everybody else who was saying 5 and 17 turned out to be right. Right? But again, I don't care about being wrong. Being right or wrong don't do nothing for me. I'm just a light-skinned guy on YouTube that don't know what he's talking about anyway. But I'm going to say it right here. If you beat LSU, I think you go 9-3 at a minimum. If you beat LSU, I go 9-3. If you beat LSU, every game on the schedule becomes winnable. Every game on the schedule winnable anyway. I mean, you play Clemson down to the wire in their own house. You get them at home this year. I'm sorry, but I don't believe in Florida, bro. Florida gonna have to show me something. That wasn't a good team last year. I don't think they're gonna be a good team this year. Unless you tell me Anthony Richardson is the real deal. And the only reason I'll say 9-3 is I don't believe this team can go undefeated. I'm not that crazy yet. Beat LSU, and I might tell more lies, though, but I'm not that quite crazy yet. But I'm telling you right now, you beat LSU. And I struggle to even really find those 3 losses. But just as a I'll just go with 3 losses. But if you beat LSU, you can't justify losing to a Louisville or losing to a Wake Forest or a Boston College or Syracuse or a Georgia Tech. It's like holy cow. I don't know why. Again, I got to see it to believe it. If they turn out to be the goods, I got you, bro. I got you. I just don't. I got to see it to believe it. I have to see it. We're going to know what Florida is pretty early. Florida going to play Utah. And Utah is being picked to win the Pac-12. Right? So we're going to see what Florida is fairly early. We're going to see what Miami is fairly early too, because they play A&M. And everybody going to see what we are really early. So I'm pointing out those teams because those are the teams that you're going to play down the stretch. Those are the teams that you're looking at as L's, right? And that Louisville that everybody claims to be such a tough game, which might be a tough game. It is an away game. I believe it's also on a Friday night, but you do get that bye week before that game. And Louisville going to be playing, like he said, a tough UCF team. So it's not like Louisville going to be able to use the week before that as a prep. Come on, man. The schedule that people keep talking about matches up extremely well for Florida State. You catch LSU early. You see the situation there with Louisville. You get Georgia Tech instead of North Carolina this year. I don't know, man. Marcus says, oh, chat jumped on me. Hold on. Marcus said, honestly, if we beat LSU, I think we get 10. LSU is more talented than every team on the schedule besides Clemson. That's what I said. You beat LSU, you can't really convince me you lose another game. I'll take my team with Clemson. If DJ's still the quarterback of that team, I'll take my chances. Us at home at Clemson. I like our chances. Granted, we don't have a Jermaine, and Jermaine almost single-handedly won that game. I get all of that. But I like our chances. Don't see Utah winning in the slot. They might not. I get it. But when is a lot of teams won in the swamp last year, though? It ain't like Florida's necessarily been locking down the swamp in recent years. So what does it really mean to play in the swamp? Utah ain't had no problem. Did they beat Oregon away or at home? I don't know, but I know they beat them twice. They didn't seem to have a problem with that. He says, I've been saying it. Tyler says, I've been saying it. If you're playing the ACC, your schedule ain't difficult. I mean, I think I've done it before. Let's break this schedule down. And see, here's my thing when we break this thing down, right? Let's go to the games you should win. Syracuse, Boston College, Georgia Tech, Duquesne, and Louisiana. Those are kind of like your gimme games. And I know you can make a case that a Boston College or something isn't a gimme game, whatever. I'm going to say those are your gimme games. Those 5 games are games that you should, okay, I won't say gimme, but they should be games that you should be a decent favorite in. Those 5. Then you got your 50-50 games. I believe your 50-50 games are obviously what LSU. I think somebody said the spread on LSU was -3 or something like that. I mean, LSU, Miami, Florida. Those are probably your 50-50s. And then the games you won't be favored in, like the games that you probably won't be favored. Oh, Louisville, I'm sorry. So that's already 9 games on the schedule. 5 should be wins. 4, 50-50. Can you win some of those? And then, hell, Wake's probably like a 50-50 game at this moment too now, again, because their quarterback went out. So the only games on the schedule that you probably won't be favored in, like you'll go in there underdogs, you'll probably still be an underdog to Clemson at home. And NC State, because I think that's an NC State on the road. Those are probably the 2 games that you're going to be obvious underdogs in. Is 10-2 crazy? I don't know. That junk don't matter, bro. Boys gonna play football. And there's a lot of desert in Utah. Utah ain't some cold state like you think. I'm not saying it don't get cold. There's a lot of desert in Utah too. They'll be all right. Thank you. Boise State came down to Jacksonville and didn't seem to have a problem with the heat. And we were the ones having a problem with the heat. Kind of crazy, huh? No power was good. Outside of conference, when does Florida ever got any? I've never seen it. You don't have to entertain it. I don't even think you should. You should definitely keep your expectations realistic. I understand it. You get into 10-2, then you disappoint yourself. I absolutely understand it. But you know, this time last year, they said the same thing about Michigan State. This time last year, no one picked Arkansas to win 9 games. Baylor wasn't picked to win 10 games. So you don't have to entertain it. You don't have to think it's possible. But there are going to be teams this year that outdo their expectations. My entire point is, why can't we be one? Unless you're telling me you don't believe in the guy that's running the program. Because if you believe in him, I think you should have faith that he can do something out of the ordinary. Man, that FSU NC State game, lowest ticket price is $190. Yeah, because that's going to be a huge game for them. Even when we're bad, we're a lot of those. You got to remember how dominant we were in the ACC. We beat up on all the ACC teams. That's why you beat Clemson beat you last year, and a bad Florida State team, and they stormed the field. We're still their Super Bowl, people. They beat bad Florida State teams and stormed the field. Why is that? Well, we will be an underdog to Miami because national media has damn near crowned them. We play Miami later in the season. We'll see how that works out. And we were an underdog to them last year. So when I say underdog, I'm talking about that is a 50-50 game for that. For no other reason, because obviously it's the rivalry game. Your rivalry games are going to be 50-50. 8-4 seems unrealistic to some. Some really think. Again, already mentioned that. I feel you, bro. I'm with you, but I'm beyond that. I'm past the shook phase. Okay, no more. I'm done with that. It's time. it's get it done, or like I think it was Tyler said before, either get it done or take the Band-Aid off the wound, man, and let this thing bleed out. Because what are we really doing? Keeping a 500 coach around for what? I think we can. That's all I'm saying. Why can't we though? Whether or not you think we can be a 10-2 team, look, I understand that's like, oh my God, 10-2. That's like asking a lot. Probably unrealistic. I don't think it's unrealistic, but I'm not gonna predict a 10-2 season. But if you think 10-2 is absolutely insane, I would ask you why. That my simple question would be, I would ask you why. Why don't you believe? Is it you don't believe in our quarterback? That's fair. If you say, well, I just don't think Jordan Travis is good enough to get a Florida State team to 10 wins, I would actually agree with you. Oh, shoot. Somebody said it. I agree with you. But see, what I'm directing a lot of this to the people who don't say that, though. You feel me? There's a large contingency of this fan base who they pump rainbows and sunshine. But then when it's time to make the decision, they backtrack. There's a large portion of the fan base that goes, Jamie Robinson is a first-round talent. I don't believe he is. I think he'll get drafted. I don't think he's a first-round talent, but there's people that will say that, and that's fine. Akeem Dent might make Akeem Dent is this, and Jamie's that. I think they are going to be one of the better safety tandems in the ACC. But they say these things that they believe or claim to believe, but then when it's time to make that decision, when it's time to, as y'all say, stand on your square and say, nope, this team going to go X and X, they backtrack, right? And then they go, man, honestly, Mike Norvell would be 6-6 would be a great season for Mike. It would show improvement. What? That's where I get aggravated. We either in it or we not. 10-2 is the ceiling. Honestly, with this fan base, I think even if we got 8-4, each loss is gonna hurt. I'm rooting for us to win. I want the program to do good. I don't think Norvell is the guy to get us back to being elite, but I hope he can stabilize us. Bernard Pender says he's back. Where'd you even go? VJ in the building. He says, JT stay healthy all season. We get 10 wins. Ooh, so you think we go 9-3 in a regular season? Okay. What gets me is a lot of the critics got us losing to LSU, NC State, Louisville, Wake Forest, and Miami. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. That's 5? Yeah, 5 games. That's crazy, man. But somehow we'll beat Clemson and Florida. Florida, again, is not that big of an accomplishment. We'll see. We'll see what Billy does. Billy's recruiting well. We'll see what Billy got him doing on the field. I don't know, though. So 7-5, but you beat Clemson and Florida. Don't use the stabilize word. Polk thinks that's a bad word. What word are we talking about? What word is that? I don't think it's a bad word. We're stable. We're a stable program. I think. Who said Miami hype is the roster and what the staff did before rivalry? I think in typical FSU fashion, we will play a lot of close games and come out to losing. See, I'm okay with playing close games, but now in year 3, you should learn how to win those close games, right? That's the difference. You were able to squeak out Syracuse and Boston College last year and find ways to win those close games. Some of these other games you need to now find a way to win. Okay? I'm not asking for you to go out there and throw, win by 30 against everybody. I don't care if you beat every team by a field goal, but win the game. I do agree with that. For those that say that, I don't disagree with you. He has shown absolutely nothing for any one of us to have faith that he can do that. But if he's the coach that people say he is, if he's the developer that people say he is, if this team is as talented as people pretend it is, D. Thompson says, this season going to tell me what I need. If Adam Fuller hasn't figured out Louisville at this point, what about Brian Kelly? This is going to be year 3 of playing Brian Kelly. If this staff hasn't figured out Brian Kelly, again, back to the original point. That's why LSU is such an important game. This is Mike Norvell's most important game of his entire coaching career. If he fails at Florida State, he probably never gets a real, he might go coach at Arizona State, but that ain't a real Power 5 chance to win national championship type of job. He fails here, he probably never gets that chance again. He can stay over there on the West Coast somewhere. The point is, in 3 years, Mike, you can't figure out Brian Kelly? Big Kev says, I don't see us going 10-2, but I do see us make a bowl, and that's a win. No, can't rock with that, because 6-6 gets a bowl, Big Kev. I can't do it. Just making a bowl game ain't good enough. I can't do it. That's the attitude I'm not rocking with. Because 6-6 gets you a bowl game. But what does that do for you, the program, recruiting? Exactly. You got to win more of your close games now. I think we'll win more than we lose this year, enough to get 8. I can deal with 8, y'all. I'm not mad at 8. I would not be mad at 8. I'll be okay with 8. I just have a bigger dreams. I just have bigger dreams. That's all. I say if we play close games, we win in all of them. So with that, Timmy, I'll ask you this. So do you think our losses will be blowouts? When you say if we play close games, we win them all, does that mean our losses will be blowouts? 6-6 shouldn't be good enough for anybody, but it damn sure wasn't good enough for the last guy. For some reason, though, 6 and 7 wins is good enough for this one. Rio Brown says, word is the rest of the coaching staff take issues with Mike. That's why he's over the top player friendly. None of that makes sense, Rio. Word is, y'all read that again. Y'all insiders be killing me. Word is the rest of the coaching staff take issues. The rest of the coaching staff, that's only reason they're there is because of Mike. Mike hasn't fired a coach when we've all begged him to fire a couple of coaches, but you're telling me those same coaches have issues with Mike. If that was the case, Alex Atkins had a Georgia job lined up for him. Why he just didn't go down the road? A couple teams were interested in Coach Woodson this offseason. Why Coach Woodson didn't go down the road? I don't believe that, but y'all can believe it. Going 6-6 causes way more harm. Mike might as well go 5-7 or 4-8, get fired, and go 6-6 and be the lame duck. I think we'll be fine too. I think we'll be pretty damn good this year. I just want to say this: Herm is on the hot seat, not because of Arizona State winning 8 games last season, because that program's in disarray right now. We start 3-0, cooking with grease, hot fire, ahead of schedule. We start 2-1, we okay. And if we start any lower than that, there's trouble. Jadon, what's going on? No reputable source to send bro. You got a bunch of people that are just fake insiders, bro. They just say stuff. The rest of the coaching staff don't like him, but other coaches had opportunities to go take jobs and they didn't. If I don't like Mike and I'm Alex Atkins, I'm on the first thing to Georgia. They just came off a national championship and offered him an O-line coaching job. What? Real Brown, where are you getting that info from? Probably some message board somewhere. Who knows? So I won't jump off the bridge if we lose to LSU. Obviously, you got to see how the games played, how it played out, all of those things, right? But man, we want and need that game. I repeat, we want and need that game. But it's kind of already been spun into existence how this game should be a layup or this game should be an easy game. I don't think it's an easy game. We know it's going to be a tough game. That's still a talented team. Brian Kelly's still a hell of a coach. I'm surprised. The only thing for me was with Kelly, I didn't know how he'd relate to those LSU kids, but hey, he's doing this thing. So this game isn't a layup. Losing to LSU isn't the end of the world per se. But man, it's a game you need. It's a game you need. So Timmy says, why Atkins didn't take the job for real though? Florida State gave him an extension and gave him the OC title. So you don't take a demotion, which that would have been. Right? They matched. I don't know if they matched the money or not. I don't know how much Georgia was offering him. I know Atkins is, I think, close to making $1 million now, and he got the OC title. So he got a promotion and a raise. That's why he didn't take the Georgia job. He would have got a demotion. Y'all leave. I'm not messing with him. You come on here. He says he lives in Tally, and that's the barbershop talk. Okay. I hear you. That's what they're saying. Just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Let me ask you, if we go 6-6, but making a bowl doesn't matter, bro. No, Big Kev. Making the bowl, bro. Who cares if you go 6-6 and go to the Pinstripe Bowl? Seriously, who cares, bro? Let me ask you. You go 6-6 and you get to the Pinstripe Bowl. Is that getting you Hakeem Williams or Jordan Hall? Any of those players that you need to sign to make that instant impact to actually turn your program around? Because we can say what we want to say about coaches. At the end of the day, your program's going to get turned around when you start getting elite talent in here, right? Well, you don't get that elite talent if you go 6-6. Gotta go better than 6-6. He shouldn't keep his job. 6-6 to me, that's fireable. I don't know if it happens. Ain't no source. Just say who told you Ice Cube. But it's Georgia, and that's SEC money. Okay, again, you don't take a demotion. I don't care where it's at. No, I'm not coming at you or anything. I'm just answering your question. Like I know you were just asking, but I'm just answering your question. Like 6-6 don't do anything for anybody. Doesn't do anything for Mike. Don't do it, again. Somebody said it earlier. 6-6 might be more detrimental to the program than if he was to just go. Like if you go 5-7, you probably get fired without question, right? If you go 6 or 7 wins, you make the case to keep him. That might be more detrimental than just flat out firing him. Brian Kelly wanted to be at Florida State. Did he? Who said this? Haven't heard that one before either. I want to go bowling, just not at 6-6. I just don't believe we go less than 8-4 because the O line is way better than what we had, and that's what's caused us our downfall. And then Tyler says 6-6. I think he gets fired during the season. I'm with you. I'm with you. Like if think about that, if he's going 6-6, there's a good chance at one point in the season you have a losing record. I mean, you're talking about being just 500. Like there's a good chance he don't make it out the season. And going 6-6, bro, that means you dropping games to Syracuse and Boston College and probably Georgia. Like you dropping just ridiculous. It's there's gonna be some bad losses there. I mean, come on, you can't recover from a 6-6. A lot of that LSU game gonna come down to how it's officiated, and that never goes well. Going 6-6 this year will be more harm than what it did last year. Tyler, he can't get fired during the season if he goes 6-6. There's only 12 games in the season. He had to get fired after the season. I don't think Alfred is playing. I'm sure there was a coming to Jesus with Coach, and everyone know where they stand and the number of wins that are acceptable. And then South Florida Noel says Mike need to come out and punch Brian Kelly in the mouth and get things rolling. And I'm with you. So, in conclusion, I think we all agree that LSU game is the most important games of Mike Norvell's coaching career. Right? I think we all agree that. I mean, this, I don't want to say it can break him, but it has the potential. This game has the potential to make Mike Norvell look extremely bad on the national stage if you lose this game, and depending on how you lose this game. Because, again, these national games, you haven't looked you played. See, last year was the year that you got that moral victory or those kudo points. Man, you played Notre Dame down to the wire in a great game, and you just couldn't win it at the end after being a terrible, terrible team the season before. And everybody was patting you on the back, Mike, and saying how much this team has improved and how far it's came. And then you went to go 0-4. Okay, there we are. But that was last year, right? Obviously we should be past the moral victories. So even like a close loss, it's like we've seen this before. You feel me? Like I said, man, at the end of the day, in conclusion, this is the biggest game of his career. Bigger than any bowl game he had at Memphis. Damn sure bigger than last year's Miami game. And that North Carolina game. This is the biggest game because this is Mike either turns himself into a household name or he's that lame duck coach I've been talking about. Because I'm telling you beat LSU. A lot of people's ears poke up. Whether you think LSU is going to be good this year or not is a little bit irrelevant. But we already talked about freshman center, freshman tackle. They got some freshman DBs, some freshman linebackers. Bro, we got a veteran squad. We got an entire O line full of 4-year players plus. We got a 4-year quarterback. We got 2 redshirt juniors at backer. Your defensive tackles are the 2 6-year players at we have a veteran group, a veteran team. A lot of things point well for this game against LSU. You match up extremely well against LSU. Your strength on defense is that D line. Their weakness seems to be that O line. Let's do something with that, right? You've got some newfound respect for your receiving core, but their weakness in that defense seems to be their secondary. Can we do something with that? Can Jordan Travis do something with that? I think it's going to be good on good their D line against our O line. I think I think our O line, they'll give up some plays, but they're going against a good bunch. But I think our O line is going to be able to give just as good as it gets. You have a chance to make a name for yourself. You beat LSU in the Superdome. Obviously, you got to follow that game up with coherent and well-coached games following. But I have all the confidence that you do that if you beat LSU. But that is my LSU talk for today. Again, I'm looking past Duquesne. We should all be looking past Duquesne. Coaches, players, they shouldn't look past Duquesne because you saw what you did with Jack. Now Duquesne, is not as good as Jacksonville State, but you saw what happened last year when you treated Jacksonville State as a gimme game. You played around for 4 quarters and got embarrassed at the end. So players, coaches, treat it like it's the real deal because it is the real deal. But us fans, I'm looking past it. LSU's the biggest game of the man's career. And I don't think anybody disagrees with that. He has a chance to do something. He has a chance to make a name for himself on the national stage and really get the attention of these game-changing players that you want to add to this team. So we're going to move into my prediction, and then we're going to get up out of here for the night. Hit the like button, man, if you haven't hit it. Good discussion tonight. Champ says Mike isn't a lame duck coach. We'll see. If you ask me, I lean more towards the fact that he's a lame duck coach. A bad season this year, and he definitely will be. But again, he's got to prove me wrong. I think he will be. Mike Norvell said today, I think he said he's day-to-day. If they're listing him as day-to-day, that tells me he's closer to playing. I've heard good things about Winston Wright, so I think they're playing Winston Wright situation close to the vest. And that's just me, though. If LSU doesn't stop Benson, we'll win. But, if any team doesn't stop the running game, so I don't know if that says much. Jordan Travis is going to have to make some throws. We're going to have to make some plays through the air to win this game. Again, if the weakness is the secondary, Jordan Travis is going to have to make some throws and win this game. And their strength is their defensive line. I don't think we can count on giving Benson the ball 30 times. But we'll see we'll see. I'm interested to see how this offense is called without Kenny Dillingham. And we'll see what kind of influence Atkins has. I'm interested to see how this offense operates. Been a minute, haven't won an opening game. Mr. H says he's just tapping in what it do. I think we get pressure on LSU's QB. We got a real chance of pulling that game off. At the end of the day, I see us having a winning record and make a bowl, not 6-6. I hear you. As long as it ain't 6-6, man, I think we good. I believe Mike has changed the culture. And these kids are ready to win games. I can see FSU surprising a lot of teams. Well, I want to see it. I want to see it. Duquesne went 7-3. Should still be but 7-3 against who though? Hypnotic says the team's going to surprise a lot of people. Gunn says Norvell isn't getting fired if he goes 6-6. He sold himself to the boosters. Man, you got to let the Norvell hate go, man. You have to let that go. That is unhealthy, bro. Bro, you got to, that is unhealthy, bro. You got to let that go. Got to let it go. I get it, but you got to let it go. Mike got these boys right. Let's just hope it shows on the field. Man, I just hope LSU don't embarrass us. Listen up, podcast in the building. What's going on, bro? Sam, that's probably Sam. I think Sam the one who do all the social media stuff. JT said that playbook tough. I just want to see the Mike Norvell offense of the Memphis days. Yeah, it is Sam. What's up, Jay? Because LSU has a new. I'm saying LSU has a new. They're saying Daniels is going to get the start. He's never wowed me. Some people like him. Some people think he whatever. He's never wowed me personally. I don't think he's that great. I don't think he's terrible by any means, but I don't think he's that great. Freshman center, freshman tech. There's a lot of things that add up for you to win that LSU game. And stand on your square. And if you're gonna pick us, pick us. But again, the back and forth and the hedging your bets and hey, I think we talented, but 7 games is good enough. I don't operate like that. I can't wait to see how much of the playbook FSU use. They should be using the whole playbook against LSU, but they shouldn't be. I don't want to say be vanilla against Duquesne, but you shouldn't be throwing out anything exotic against Duquesne. And Sam thinks we win 31-27. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. So, my prediction for the season, man. And this is where Sam gonna think I'm crazy. And that's okay. I'm not scared to predict some stuff. It's year 3. By year 3, you should be competing for the ACC. I ain't saying win it. I'm not even saying go to the ACC championship. I'm saying when come down the stretch, you should be in the running. VJ stole my prediction, but I'm going 9-3 regular season. I know, I don't care. Bold prediction, I'm probably insane. I really do not care. But at the end of the day, hold on. At the end of the day, 7-win regular season. At the end of the day, this ain't about Mike for me. This is about the program. And if we want to do what we need to do on the trail, we got to win. I'd be okay with 8-4. We have to win 9. I got 9 games. I think, again, why can't it be us? Why can't we be this year's Arkansas? Why can't we be this year's Michigan State? Why can't we be this year's Baylor? I got 9-3. That's what I'm going with. You're not going to talk me out of it. I don't care. Call me crazy. Call me insane. If you believe you have the best safety tandem in the ACC, if you believe you have one of the best D lines in the ACC, if you believe Trey Benson is a 1,000-yard runner, if you believe Jordan Travis is exponentially better, bruh, I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. I got 9-3, bro, and we just missed the ACC championship. I think Clemson goes. I don't really believe in NC State, but they have a chance to prove me wrong. But I got 9-3. Who are the 3 losses? Not too sure. Not too sure. But I got 9-3. Hey, that's why I'm going 9-3. Because all these people are saying all these great things about the team. And then they come back in here and go, well, yeah, I like Jordan Travis. He's the next Justin Herbert. And Trey Benson finna be the next Cam Akers. And these guys finna do this and these guys finna do that. But we're gonna go 7-6. You know, Mike Norvell still got to figure. No, man, I'm not doing 7-6. I'm not doing that. And I'm losing connection a little bit. I'm losing connection a little bit. So my bars went down. It's okay. I think I'm getting them back, but I'm not gonna waste too much more of you guys' time tonight, man. Louisville, NC State, and Clemson. I think I mean, I like my chances against Clemson because we get them at home, but I do think Clemson will be one of those 3 losses, unfortunately. But that's all I got tonight, guys. You know, I don't go that long on these Wednesday shows. So, man, as always, y'all hit the like button, share the video, man. Let's keep growing the channel. And then, man, we close to football time. And like I said, 9-3, man. Y'all can hold me to it. When we go 6-6, y'all can come back and say how stupid I was for saying 9-3. But as of right now, we going 9-3. I believe in the program. Let me put it like that. I believe in the program. I'll leave it at that. But I'm gonna get up out of here, guys. We went over an hour and 30, so I'm gonna get on out of here. As always, it's your boy Pope over here on 863 Seminole TV. Stay classy, Seminoles. Hit the like button, share the video. Don't forget to hit that comment section too. And we at you. Go Noles. Y'all have a good rest of y'all Wednesday night. And I'll see if I can get on here again this weekend. All right, y'all, man. I'm out.